Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Pull here, bringing you another game of StarCraft 2. Today's match is going to be between LiquidTaeja, the incredible Terran player from Team Liquid, and his opponent, Complexity Killer, the awesome Protoss player from Complexity Gaming. I've got to say, guys, I'm very excited to see how this match does play out. Both of these players are super good and are destined to provide us with an incredibly entertaining game today. Now, giving you guys a little bit of information about the map that they're playing on, it is Metropolis, which is a relatively new map added to the ladder pool pretty recently. Now, the map was actually developed by GOM for the GSL tournament, so it's been around for a little bit of time, but as far as North American and European players go, they're probably going to be a little bit less familiar with it than perhaps these players are going to be. And because of that, I'll give you a quick rundown of how it's laid out. You do have your main base right here, which is pretty sizey. Got lots of room here for whatever buildings you're going to need for the rest of the game. Of course, you have a ramp that's pretty close to your mineral patch here that leads down into your natural. Now, this natural is a really safe natural because the choke here is so small. It's very easy to defend against big attacks from other players like one base or two base all-ins. Now, of course, we do see some more destructible rocks as well as a ramp that leads down into your third. So, really cool that GOM decided to make the map this way. I like it. It definitely encourages you to get that third base without too much difficulty. And in all honesty, I don't even know if these destructible rocks right here are even that necessary. But whatever. That's okay. So anyways, as we can see here, Taeja has gone ahead and gotten his refinery at 13. Pretty standard timing for Terran to get their gas. And of course, it's just dropping down 1 Rex right now. There's quite a few things that he could do, and I'm actually not sure what he wants to do. He could go for a 2 Rex. That's always effective against Protoss players, especially ones that expand. And a lot of the times, if you can do it correctly, you're almost guaranteed to take out their Nexus with proper micro and possibly a bunker or something. But it doesn't look like that's what Taeja is going to do. Instead, he's just banking up some gas right now. Might even drop an add-on. Actually, never mind. He will not be dropping an add-on down right there because Killer said what's up and dropped a pylon there instead. So Taeja, if he was planning on dropping an add-on, is not going to be able to do that. And instead, it's going to sit with a lot of gas and probably actually have to make a factory here. And I think that's what he's doing. Yeah, he sent his SCV over there to make that factory. Might end up going for a 1-1-1 build with possibly a Cloak Banshee Harass or something, which I've got to say on this map will be pretty effective. Just as you can see here, you've got your mineral patches. You've got a lot of space behind these mineral patches, a lot of airspace too, and because the base is just so big, you know, you can run your opponent all over the place. And if they build their buildings too far apart, then they kind of make themselves a little bit vulnerable to Banshee harassment. So we'll see what our Terran player does do. As far as 1-1-1 goes on this map, I think it's probably the most effective opener. And the reason I say that is 1-on-1, I feel like it's probably I wouldn't say it's the best build. It's definitely very strong. And if you can keep yourself from getting out of position, then you'll do really well with it. The reason that some players don't go 1-1-1 is simply because some maps are so big that it's impossible to know where your opponent is, and it's very easy to get outflanked and outmaneuvered, outpositioned with 1-1-1. But there are 2 Xel'Naga Watchtowers which actually reveal completely the 2 paths that lead from base to base. So if Taeja wants to go for 1-on-1, he'll be able to do that as long as he can maintain some vision and map control. Now we do see that starport being dropped down for Taeja, as well as a Nexus being dropped down for Killer. So if Taeja wanted to go for a 2-Rex, it would have been really nice, but of course he wasn't able to do that. Now I think Killer is actually moving down the Stalker here to do some scouting information, and whoop, he could have got shot by some Marines right there, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that. Now this Stalker will actually see quite a lot. You might say to yourself, no, not really, he just sees Marines, but honestly, as a Protoss player, if you see that many Marines, you can kind of expect your opponent to be teching up. I mean, he doesn't have anything but Marines, so there's obviously not a tech lab for Marauders, or at least he's not made any yet. You could safely assume that he is teching up, and that's exactly what our Terran player is doing here. And interestingly enough, after seeing that group of Marines, Killer did decide to build a robotics facility, so he will most likely be getting an observer out here. Of course, he's got 3 gateways. We'll be able to make some good air units. Not air units, but anti-air units is what I was trying to say there. It's like Stalkers and Sentries. He does have 2 Sentries out here right now to help defend his ramp against any kind of early aggression. Do like that play by Killer. Now, as far as what our Terran player is going, yeah, like I said, he's getting the Banshee as well as Cloak, and he does have one Banshee out here already, and I think that Cloak will be, yeah, Cloak will definitely be finished by the time he gets to his opponent's base. Of course, Killer does have Stalkers up here, as well as some Sentries and another Stalker, so he will be able to defend pretty easily. Of course, he probably needs to move this group down to his main base just to keep it a little bit secure. And I think his Observer is almost finished here, so he might be able to get a couple kills here, but not before the Observer pops out. And there it's out now. The Vision is going to be, I guess you would say. The Cloak's going to be discovered, or I don't know what you would call that when you can see a cloaked unit, but oh man, for some reason I can't think of the word. Either way, that Banshee is going to be forced out of there for now, and another Banshee will be coming up here to join the fray. Now, oh wow, I'm not sure what Killer's doing with the Sentry here. Yeah, a little bit of a misrally with the Sentry. I think he meant to send the Observer down there. And that Sentry actually might get picked off. Now that'll be a pretty good kill for Taeja if he does manage to get it. And actually, if he can get both of them, it would be really great. He's just Cloak up right now. I don't know why he's not cloak. Okay, there he does Cloak up right before he almost loses that Banshee, which only had 20 HP, so he needs to be a little bit careful right there. And as we can see, Taeja has expanded behind his Banshee harassment and is currently sticking to just a few production facilities. And interestingly enough, he actually has a third command center almost completely finished, so he will be boosting his economy pretty heavily and definitely going to be turtling up here. He is making tanks, and does he have siege mode? Okay, just now started siege mode, so he's definitely going to be turtling a little bit. Does have the one bunker here. Might even build another one just for some secure defense against Complexity Killer if he tries to go for a bust. But it looks like Killer right now is making up a lot of minerals, and I think he's moving these units over here. Yeah, he is moving these over here to take out these destructible rocks, and likely will be going for a third. This is about the time that you see a lot of Protoss players go for their third, unless they're just going to commit to a 2-base huge attack, which I do not think would be the good decision to make on this map, especially against the build that Taeja is doing here. So we do see this Rax just now dropping down to Cyclop and just now getting stim, all because he wanted to just kind of eco up a little bit, macro up a little bit, get lots of workers out on the field. And as we can see here, oh wow, his main base is actually really oversaturated already. Probably needs to transfer down some workers here, and that third command center already paying off in the sense that he's got a ton of workers. And let's actually look at the income tab. Ooh, interestingly enough, Taeja is down by 2. Of course, he does have his mules, so his economy is definitely stronger, but I'm kind of surprised. I guess that Killer's just really been boosting out a lot of probes with the Chrono Boost now. And it does look like Killer has gone ahead and is making a Colossi. He's got that robotics bay now, and he is researching thermal lance, so that's going to be really good to deal with tanks. However, based off of what Taeja is building right here, I think he's actually switching out of the 1-1 and switching into a more bio-based play, and if that's a reactor, yeah. So he's definitely switching into more bio play, so I think maybe if he's smart, if that's what he was doing, he actually forces a player or his opponent to go for Colossi just to deal with the 1-on-1, and is now following it up, so he knows exactly what the Protoss player is doing. And of course, he's moving in here with these Banshees, so he's going to get a little bit of scouting information, and did get a couple of probe kills right there, make that 3-4, getting some decent probe shots here. Let's look at the workers kill tab. We're currently at 5 right now, and I think he'll be able to take out this pylon here with pretty good ease. Well, that supply block, it does not supply block the Protoss opponent, so Killer's going to be okay for now. Oh, wow, a Banshee going down there for LiquidTaeja. Needs to be a little bit more careful. There's actually no reason whatsoever for him to have lost that other than a bit of missed micro. Now, it does look like, interestingly enough, Killer did try to send in an observer, but Taeja, being very smart, making a Raven here. Now, this Raven's going to be really, really nice, especially for point defense drones. He could even bring it along with his Banshees to, and like a Viking or so, to take out an observer and do even more economic damage if he does choose to kind of do that. We do see this third base, of course, up and running for our Protoss player, so he's going to be in a good position economically and probably can go ahead and get some High Templar now that he's on 3 base, and he is making Templar archives somewhere around here, so that looks like that's what he's trying to do for now. And Killer actually taking out that destructible debris himself. I guess he just feels like he has enough units to defend. He doesn't really need them anymore. I'm not sure actually why he decided to do that, but it does look like Taeja's finally lifted off this third base a little bit late. I'm surprised that he took so long to do that. I feel like, oh god, he's making another one. I feel like he probably, if he wanted to hide that base, could have just put it over here or something instead of just waiting so long to actually put it into use. But either way, Taeja's doing a great job. His economy very strong, and his supply is certainly ahead. And as I was saying, yeah, he's actually doing that. That's really cool. Getting those Banshees and Vikings as well as a Raven, and was able to take out one observer. So really unfortunate that he's forcing the Protoss player to make so many observers this game. I wonder actually how many Killer has even lost right here. But it does look like Taeja is moving into the main base, and Complexity Killer does have his Stalkers up here. Of course, this point defense drone, where's it at? Where's the Raven? Okay, Raven's here. The point defense drone will be able to soak up these shots from the Stalkers, and actually Killer going to be forced to run these Stalkers back before he loses them. And will that Observer get sniped? It looks like it does not actually get sniped for Taeja. Instead, he's just going to go ahead and take out even more workers right now. So, God, Taeja doing some excellent damage. At 11 workers killed right now, and at the same time, it looks like he was pushing up here to maybe do an attack, but decided to pull back because the Colossi are on the field, doesn't want to lose his units to the splash damage, and actually, he has a ton of Marines. This army would be really vulnerable to Colossi, and I like the decision that he made to pull back. And honestly, he has really no reason to attack right now. He's doing really great economically. His harass has been pretty good, and he can continue to deny expansions and take out workers if he really wanted to, until he gets to about 200 with his upgrades. Now, Psionic Storm did just finish for Complexity Killer, so he's going to be in an even better position with his splash damage to deal with the Terran army. Now, Taeja is really going to need some good micro to handle this. And actually, sorry I haven't looked at the upgrades. We do have 1-1 as well as 1 attack being researched and a 1 ship weapon being researched for Taeja. And as far as our Protoss player goes, he's at, let's see, where's that? He's at 2-2 right now. So it looks like Taeja is coming up here with a little bit of a draw and trying to snipe some buildings here. Of course, ooh, something going down right there. I think that was the Raven. Oh my, I think the Raven just went down. Now that is a really expensive unit and really annoying to remake. So Taeja actually lost the Raven. A little bit of a mistrade. He even lost a Medivac worth of units. Of course, he did keep his Medivacs alive. And actually more than just a Medivac worth of units. So kind of a bad trade there for Taeja. And now Complexity Killer is coming up here to do some damage. Now Taeja's army is also coming up for reinforcements, so Killer might actually get taken off guard here. We do see that small group of units getting taken down, and in fact, LiquidTaeja is doing some really good micro here, stutter stepping backwards, and these Zealots are actually kind of weak, and ooh, a High Templar did go down there for our Protoss player. Taeja retreating into even more reinforcements, and surprisingly enough, oh wow, sorry I missed that, all the Vikings, almost all the Vikings have gone down, and this Viking might actually manage to take out that third Colossus. Will he get it? He does get it. Really good shots off for Taeja right there. An excellent job of taking out the high-tech units of Killer. Now let's look at his army. So many High Templars were taken out during that battle. That was an expensive trade, and actually they're pretty even as far as units lost go, but it just seems like the Protoss units were so much more valuable, as basically all Taeja is doing right now is main Marauder. I believe he's adding on some ghosts. Let's look at the units tab. There are no ghosts currently. I think he has a Ghost Academy up somewhere. Yeah, the Academy is up here, so he's going to be able to get Ghost to handle the High Templar. Now, it does look like Taeja doing a little bit of a risky drop here, as these Medivacs are really low on health, and actually Killer is going to be forced to cancel the cannons that we're building and move his army up here and cancel a lot of units. So Taeja continuing to do some really excellent aggression, and needs to be careful about losing this Medivac. He loses one right there because of the low health, and Blink is almost back on his cooldown. Will he get the other one? He does. Wow, an excellent kill there by Killer, managing to take out 2 Medivacs as well as the units that were inside of them. Taeja getting a little bit careless right there. Surprised that he sent those Medivacs in with such low health. I feel like if he just used some different Medivacs, it would have been a lot more effective. So Killer doing an excellent job, certainly not anywhere near behind in this game, and I would say that both these players are very even. Now we do have a 4th base up here for Taeja, as well as a 5th being produced, and 4 bases for Killer. Eventually, I would imagine that he'll go ahead and expand. There we go, as I was saying, that it does get that base up, but it does look like we have a bit of a clash, never mind an almost clash happening, and Taeja blinking up some units to try to take out that Viking. Just goes ahead and retreats right here. Now Taeja is going to try to get control of this watchtower. He really needs to know where his opponent is. That is a huge thing in TvP when it comes down to Ghosts and Colossi. Positioning is everything. You want to know where your opponent is located so you don't get outflanked and just get totally demolished by Storm and those laser beams. Now it does look like 3-3 actually is being researched for Taeja. He's at 2-2. As far as Protoss goes, he's at 3-3 right now, and it doesn't have the shield upgrade quite yet. He's actually not even researching it. I guess it's the shield, yeah, not armor, but the shield. And actually, it's like our Protoss player did come down here to the 5th base, or 4th base rather, of Taeja and deny mining for a little bit of time. Of course, Taeja is going to be able to clean that up pretty easily. So both of these players are really just like back and forth, keeping each other at each other's bases. But now Killer has decided that he wants to go in here for some blood. Will he commit to this attack or not? It doesn't look like he's going to do that. Instead, he's going to retreat once again to his main base. Oh wow, look how many ghosts are out here. That is a ton of ghosts for LiquidTaeja. They're going to be able to deal with those High Templars quite handily. And of course, if Archons, there's actually 3 Archons, so if you can get the EMPs off on the Archons, it's going to make them just infinitely less effective. And oh my god, almost missed it there. A huge storm drop going off for Complexity Killer, getting a lot of workers killed. Look at the workers have up to 6 workers killed, so you got about 5 workers killed, but really cool that he decided to go that. I always love when Protoss does that. Now we do have the Ghost coming up here with the Cloak, managing to take out so many High Templars. I don't actually see any more High Templars. They were actually lifted off into the Warp Prison, and will he drop him back down? I'm not sure. Now the Archons are moving up here, whereas the Vikings are taking out a ton of Colossi. Only 1 Colossus is left right now, and Taeja, his army is just so strong. Protoss is having so much trouble handling this. I'm not sure if Complexity Killer will actually manage to come back into this game. Taeja, with the excellent macro and excellent unit composition as well as the upgrades, will probably take this victory. I really just don't see how Killer can get back into this. He does have a lot of High Templars down there, so if he morphs them into Archons and gets some good storms, maybe he'll be able to survive, but he's not even trying to attack right now, and I think, yeah, there is the GG. Alright guys, thanks for tuning into that awesome game. We really had an awesome ending right there. Very exciting. Lots of harassment everywhere. Feel free to leave some comments, feedback for me, how I can get better, as well as like or dislike this video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to. I also do a lot of streaming at twitch.tv/PullSC. So thanks guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.